Hello everyone, it's Chappell here, and in today's video we're going to be covering how we scaled a client to $75,000 per month and how you can scale up using Facebook ads. Q4 is one of the biggest times of the year for advertisers because it's when most people are buying online. So to take full advantage of this opportunity, I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know. You might notice I'm not in my studio right now, and that's because I'm building it out in my new condo where I am currently at. So let's go ahead and break down how you can scale up your campaigns so that way you can get a consistent ROAS. All right, so here we are inside our client ad account, and just to break this down, they started with us a little while ago back in August, and they weren't spending that much on Facebook ads, and their cost per purchase was quite high. And as you can see over time, as we started to scale up, their cost per purchase was decreasing over time. And then once we got the ads where we really needed them to be, we were able to rapidly scale up over the last month to where we're now going to be spending over $8,000 per day, and their cost per purchase is the lowest it's ever been. So even while scaling, we've been able to decrease cost per purchase, and that's exactly what I want to show you in this video today, because if you're able to scale up, decrease cost per purchase, and increase your return on ad spend, you're going to be in the green and very profitable in your business, especially during the holidays where you can maximize your growth. So let's go ahead and go into the ad account. We have a few things going on in here, but I want to quickly walk you through the timeline. So here we are starting in August, only about a 1.78 ROAS, 3,800 in spend. And then as we go into September, the ROAS practically doubled, went to nearly a 3x, and we doubled spend. And then between September to October, we more than doubled spend again, and then ROAS also increased to a 3.2. So while spend is going up, ROAS is going up, and cost per purchase is going down, which is the exact thing you want to see. And then here we are in the beginning of November, already at nearly a 5x ROAS, and are spending about $1,000 per day, and cost per purchase continues to go down. So why is that? Let's go ahead and look at where we began, so that way we can understand exactly what was taking place. During August, when you're on a fresh account, you have to go through the testing phase, and that's where we start in the top of funnel. You'll notice there's a lot of different audiences that are being tested here, and most of them actually didn't get any purchases at all, so therefore our cost per purchase is going to be quite high. We really only got a couple purchases on these audiences, nothing was really sticking, so we moved over to a broad audience, and that took off pretty quickly, getting a much better cost per result. Then we had a couple of other audiences, but even those specific interests weren't doing very well, especially during this time of year. As we get later in the year, it's better to go broad because the algorithm can optimize for you and you can just focus more on creative testing. So once we started to see what was working in broad, we then got a retargeting audience up, and although it wasn't getting very good cost per purchase, we did have a lot of traffic, so we wanted to target that. Then as we got into September, things started to get much better. So we had our broad working, we had our interest starting to work because we were getting additional sales, and then we started to go after different countries. So once the US market was working, we were going after Canada and continuing to expand from there. And we turned off all the other audiences because they weren't converting, so we just got rid of those and focused on what truly was. And this allowed us to get more spend out and get a much better return on ad spend, where when we got into October, the fun things started to really happen here. So cost per purchase got all the way down to 22, which is super fantastic, and sales were really pouring through at this point, and we were expanding into additional countries because we can really maximize growth. The good thing is once you get a broad audience working in one country, you can really start to hit additional countries, and it really opens up the market opportunity for you to get additional sales, and that's exactly what's happening here. And then our retargeting started to produce and come down in cost much better, and started to get this really dialed in. You know, we're focusing on website visitors for traffic, add to carts, and then anybody who's engaged with the Facebook or Instagram ads in the last 90 days. And we launched some lookalikes, 1%, and those started to convert. And what's great about this is going into November, we'll probably expand these to about a 3 to 5%, maybe even higher. So that way we can get a much larger audience pool size. That way we can scale up and not have to worry about overlap. So there will be a shift towards broader audiences in the lookalikes, and then we'll probably get down to only a couple audiences in here at the end of the month. And then for the holidays, one of the best things you can do is if you have a few months worth of data, Advantage Plus can become very powerful, especially when we look at it this month. We launched this for the holiday campaign. We're gonna start running early Black Friday offers because there's a lot of competition during those peak buying days around Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Whereas if you launch your offer at the beginning of the month, you're gonna start seeing pretty crazy results. Like if we just click on today, this is already at a 4.17. The account's already at a 4.6. So you can see like this is already really starting to take off on the special offer. And Advantage Plus ends up getting really solid results. This would probably come down all the way to 10 cost per purchase and put us at easily over a 7 to 10x ROAS very quickly. So as you can see, already at 14, climbing up very fast in results. And that's gonna be a very scalable campaign. All of these numbers are dropping down, which is fantastic. I mean, we're doing more purchases just today than we did really in the first week or month of running the ads, which is pretty incredible to think about. And it only really took 90 days to get up to these numbers, and they're pacing for 150K month this month. And just to break down a little bit about their creative strategy, when we look at the ads, they're selling wall art, and really one main creative is producing. But when we go back to when we were really testing, you can see in these audiences, there was a lot of creatives that were in here, but really only one or two of the ad creatives were the main primary winners. And that's really all it takes is to get one solid creative and you can scale up quite significantly. So just to break this down, we have our Advantage Plus holiday shopping campaign that we launched at the beginning of November. And that is for the Black Friday offer that will run throughout the month and end up turning into be one of the best audiences here. And then we have our lookalikes, which will be expanded. Then we have our retargeting, which is capturing bottom of funnel, and this could be scaled up pretty significantly. We've barely even tapped into the actual reach on retargeting. There's a huge audience pool here just from all the traffic we're getting from top of funnel. Now that top of funnel is dialed in multiple different countries, we could easily hit 30 to 50K spend, maybe even 100,000 in spend overall if we really wanted to scale up to those 200 or 300K months. So as you can see, over time, we were doing creative testing during this period, and as we were launching new creatives, we weren't really scaling spend. This is where people go wrong. When you're doing your creative testing, you don't really want to move the meter on spend. What you want to do is turn off what's not working, shift towards what is working until you get your cost down to where you want it. And this is really when we started to scale up. And then once we got cost per purchase right down to this number, we started to quickly increase spend. And because we were getting so many purchases, the algorithm was well optimized, so we can scale up at a much faster pace. And this will continue to exponentially scale up throughout the month of November because they're gonna be doubling their revenue every single month for the next few months here to close out the year. And this is one of the most powerful ways to quickly scale up is get your creative testing out of the way, stick to 4 campaign structures. You got your retargeting, you have your top of funnel, and then you have your lookalikes based off the data that you gather from both of these audiences. And then for the holidays, always launch an Advantage Plus to really scale significantly and launch it early so that way it's well optimized and you're not having to compete against all the other advertisers at peak buying days. This is where you're gonna maximize your ROAS. We took it all the way from a 1.2 up to nearly a 5x ROAS, and we should finish out the month at a much higher ROAS than this. And the profits are going up, the revenue is climbing, the cost per purchase is going down. Everything is pointing in the right direction, which is exactly what we like to see. And this is where you go through the testing phase, optimization, and where you really can start to scale up these campaigns. And this client of ours had joined our one-on-one ads mastery mentorship to be able to master Facebook, TikTok, organic, and TikTok ads. And they've been able to scale up significantly just by going through and working with us one-on-one. So if you are interested in that, make sure to click the link below this video and book a call with myself and team so that way we can see if we're a good fit to work together, and we'll be able to help you scale up and do numbers just like this. And if you haven't seen my most recent video where we go over the 5 top viral TikTok strategies to be able to completely sell out your store, then you definitely need to check that out because we are in the peak buying season right now, and those videos can be absolutely insane for sales for you. So definitely be sure to check out that video here. And once again, it's your favorite digital marketer here, Chase Chappell. Cheers and bye y'all.